Hello and welcome all to the 42nd part of the series on self-exploration, joining the dots, contemplating, comprehending and sharing it with you all raw. All that sounds great is the grace of all those who have blessed me, and all that sounds not so great is my limitation. In this sub-series of the other angle from parts 41 to 45, we are exploring some unconventional ideas, the other angles. And maybe these ideas give us a completely different vision and they escalate us on our path beyond the conventional ideas and norms. So let's get going. Mentoring the other angle. Who is a mentor and how is he different from a teacher? A teacher delivers what he knows and a mentor extracts what the mentee knows. Teaching can come from teachers, teaching can come from great teachers, but bookish prejudices limit scientific inquiry. And there are some people who let us learn in our own way. They are mentors. A mentor is a facilitator. He is not a provider of information. He is a facilitator who will make the mentee find things himself. And maybe just track him or ask some clever questions which the mentee works upon. A teacher claims, I have taught, and a mentor disclaims, I haven't taught anything. The mentee has found it out for himself. Mentoring is a penance. To accompany someone who's eager to know all that you know and still not tell him anything is not easy. Finding the mentee struggling with something and standing over there without telling him something for the well-wish of the mentor towards the mentee. It needs tremendous self-control and patience. A mentor cannot be an ordinary person. He is much, much higher than a teacher. Mentoring is self-experimentation. The mentor experiments himself and gives experiences to the mentee. He tries to make the better and better of the mentee. And he is also taking these experiences and experimenting with himself to become a better and better mentor, to exercise the self-control more and more, learning so many subtle ways of inspiring the mentee. Here's a different take on mentoring. While developing any thought process or becoming the mentor, the expert in some branch, in the process of formation, the mentor must have undergone a self-debate so many times. When he is working on the concept of A is correct, somewhere in his inner mind, so many times he must have thought, is A really correct? Or is Z correct? The exact opposite correct? Or is Z also correct? So many times he is running a debate, a counter current in his own self. Like a theist who standing staunchly for rituals may doubt at times if these many rituals are truly needed towards self-excellence. Or the classical singers of gharanas, they will always stand for those gharanas. or any spiritual houses who stand staunchly for their principles. They may be thinking in their minds whether it is right to stick to one style like this, or should we blend different styles and take the best from all. These kind of debates must be running through the minds of all experts who are today standing staunchly for one particular thought or idea. Because contradiction may sound as confusion, and therefore a person finally suppresses his debates and goes for a particular thought. He goes by, say, A, stands by A, and propagates A as the way of thinking permanently. He is called as the expert in A, and seekers approach him in knowing what is A. A mentee seeking to know what is A approaches such a mentor. He is a mentor, so he will not give everything ready on the palette. He will just give a direction of thought and say, find it by yourself. When he says this in all his capacity, let me remind that mentor is not a simple person. He is an authority, and therefore he has developed a potential by which he can place anew himself in the mentee. He starts thinking freshly as the mentee on the same topic. A connection is set and a bridge is built, and the journey starts again. If the mentee is equally strong, he will work independently in the company of the mentor. He will take only the skeleton, but his thoughts were completely his own thoughts, and he will build his own ladder. The mentor is observing keenly. He lives in the form of the mentee. And just like a single person plays both sides in chess, he plays a move from here and he turns around, he flips his side and then plays an exactly opposite move to defeat himself. So he lives two entities in the same figure. Like that, the mentee is another mentor. The mentor starts living as the mentee and enjoys completely opposite views that he has endorsed as mentor all these years. He disclaims the mentee's opinions as his independent opinions. So he is free to stand by A when he is seriously contemplating on the privileges of Z. Now, as the mentee proceeds or advances in his thoughts, builds his thoughts, and concretes them within himself, if he also falls on A's side, on the side of the mentor, it's like a proof with negation. If he also says that what I started with was wrong and what is the opposite is right, the mentor's opinions are reaffirmed and reconfirmed to himself also, that yes, good, I stood by this view throughout my life. My mentee also happens to prove the same. And if the mentee proves Z, the opposite of the mentor, as correct, the mentor still stands by him with a disclaimer that these are independent thoughts of the mentee. People say the mentee contradicted the mentor. He double crossed the mentor, and that might not be taken as a very honorable gesture, because we are in we are in a culture where we are supposed to blindly follow our mentor and just nod our heads to what he says. Whereas a true mentor will always want the mentee to strongly oppose him and play that chess, play that debate. So a true mentee will always be happy to be defeated and the contradictory thought to be proven correct. And he will always stand by his thoughts, at the same time appreciate, and he will not have any apprehension in accepting a defeat from his mentee. Shishyat ichet parajayat. If your disciple, if your mentee is proving something that you have not endorsed in a better way than you, the mentor should have no hesitation to accept the view exactly opposite of what he has propagated in his life. Because in his heart he knew that I have placed my own seed in my mentee. So when he has stood by A, he is still proving Z as correct in the form of his mentee. Just like a bull is fighting with the goat that has taken the lessons of how to fight from the bull and then defeating the bull in the fight, it is like the bull winning, not the goat. Only the mentor knows the pleasure of thus losing. Mentoring the other angle. Let us explore a few more such other angles. Thank you for joining in. Stay tuned. Bye bye.